The rain hammered the roof like it was trying to break in, and I was halfway out of my soaked jeans when the doorbell rang, like a gunshot in the storm. I yanked on a towel, heart slamming against my ribs, and swung the door open to find this stranger standing there, drenched to the bone, his dark hair plastered to his forehead, and eyes wild with something I couldn't place. Desperation, maybe, or fear. "Please," he gasped, voice cracking over the thunder. "I need help. They're coming for me." I froze, the towel slipping just enough to make me curse under my breath. But he didn't even glance down. His gaze locked on mine like I was the only anchor in his chaos. In that split second, with lightning cracking the sky behind him, I knew two things. This guy was running from hell, and pulling him inside was the dumbest, most alive decision I'd made in years. His name was Dylan, he said, collapsing onto my couch as water pooled around him. And just like that, my quiet life in this godforsaken Ohio suburb shattered into a million jagged pieces. I'm Alex Harper, 32, the kind of guy who fixes cars for a living and spends evenings nursing a beer at the local dive, pretending the ache in my chest from my last breakup isn't still raw. That was 2 years ago. Matthew, the golden boy from high school who'd sworn we'd make it big together in the city, only to ghost me after his family found out about us. "It's not you, it's them," he'd whispered that night in his pickup, parked by the cornfields, before driving off to some Ivy League escape hatch. Left me with nothing but a faded tattoo on my wrist, his initials inked during a drunken summer fair, and a vow to never let anyone close enough to carve me open again. But Dylan? He crashed through that wall like a freight train. After I got him a dry shirt, mine, too big on his lean frame, and a mug of black coffee, he started talking in fits and starts. He was from Cleveland, a photographer chasing stories for some indie mag, but tonight he'd pissed off the wrong people. A ring of local developers who'd caught him snapping pics of their shady land grabs near the Cuyahoga River. "They tailed me all the way down Route 71, he said, rubbing his temples, his green eyes shadowed under the kitchen light. "I ditched my car in a ditch a mile back. If they find me here, I should have called the cops, or at least driven him to the station in Dayton." But something in his voice, the raw edge of a man who'd been fighting alone too long, hooked me. "Stay the night," I muttered, grabbing blankets from the hall closet. "We'll figure it out at dawn." He nodded, gratitude flickering across his face, and as he stretched out on the guest bed, I caught myself staring at the way his fingers twitched, like he was still gripping a camera shutter. Sleep didn't come easy. I lay in my room, listening to the storm rage, replaying the door opening like a bad movie scene. Who was this guy, really? And why did pulling him in feel like reclaiming a piece of myself I'd buried with Matthew? By morning, the rain had eased to a drizzle, and Dylan was up, sketching on a napkin at my kitchen table, rough outlines of the warehouses he'd infiltrated, shadows lurking in the corners. "This could blow it wide open," he said, sliding it toward me. "But I need to get these files out. You got a computer I can borrow?" I did, an old laptop in the garage workshop. While he uploaded his shots to a secure drive, I tinkered with an engine block, stealing glances through the open door. He moved like he owned the space, fingers flying over keys, brow furrowed in concentration. Midday, we grabbed subs from the corner deli, sitting on my porch swing as gray clouds scudded overhead. That's when he asked about me, really asked, not the surface stuff. "What keeps a guy like you in a place like this?" No offense, it's got that Norman Rockwell vibe, but... I laughed, bitter. Rockwell with rust and regret. Grew up here, stayed after the mill closed. Family's all gone. Mom to cancer when I was 20, Dad drank himself under a year later. It's home, or what's left of it. I didn't mention Matthew, not yet. But Dylan leaned in, his knee brushing mine accidentally on purpose, and said, "Sounds lonely as hell. You deserve better." That touch lingered like smoke. By evening, we'd mapped a plan. I'd drive him to a buddy in Columbus who could fence the evidence anonymously, then he'd vanish back to the city. But as we loaded his gear into my truck, thunder rumbling again, he hesitated. "Alex, thanks for not turning me away." His hand on my arm was warm, steady, and when our eyes met, the air thickened with unspoken current. We made it halfway to Columbus before the taillights appeared. 2 black SUVs, unmistakable from his description, boxing us in on the interstate. "Shit," Dylan hissed, slamming his fist on the dash. I floored it, weaving through semis, heart pounding as rain lashed the windshield. One SUV rammed us from behind, fishtailing my truck toward the guardrail. "Jump the median," Dylan yelled, and I did, gravel spraying as we crossed into oncoming lanes, horns blaring. Miraculously, we lost them at a truck stop, ditching the truck and hot-wiring a beater from the lot. Dylan's photographer tricks paying off. Holed up in a no-tell motel off I-70, adrenaline crashing, we collapsed on the sagging bed, breaths ragged. "That was too close," I said, peeling off my jacket. He nodded, then pulled me into a hug, fierce, grateful, his stubble grazing my neck. "You're my hero, Alex. Don't know what I'd do without you." The kiss happened then, slow at first, like testing storm-wrecked waters. His lips were soft, tasting of salt and fear, and when I pulled back, his eyes held mine, vulnerable, alive. "Is this okay?" he whispered. I nodded, pulling him closer, and for the first time since Matthew, I let myself fall. But romance in the crosshairs is a fragile thing. Over the next week, hiding out in that motel while his contact arranged safe passage, we built something real, or so I thought. Mornings were lazy, trading stories over diner coffee. His nomadic life chasing truth in war zones and back alleys. My steady grind fixing transmissions for folks who'd known me since diapers. Evenings, we'd walk the motel's overgrown lot, hands brushing, talking dreams. He wanted to expose the corruption, make a difference. I confessed wanting more than this town's slow suffocation. Maybe a fresh start, somewhere the past didn't whisper in your ear. One night, under a canopy of stars peeking through Ohio haze, we sat on the dock of a nearby retention pond, skipping stones. "Remember that first night?" he said, arm around my shoulders. "You in that towel, door wide open. Thought I was hallucinating an angel." I chuckled, but leaned into him, our fingers intertwining. Felt like fate, or some rom-com bullshit. He kissed my temples soft. Maybe it is. Yet cracks formed. Dylan's phone buzzed constantly. Encrypted messages from sources, he said, but he'd angle away, voice low. Once, I caught a glimpse. A photo of a man who looked eerily like him, arm around a woman at a wedding. "Who's that?" I asked casual. He pocketed it quick. "Old college buddy." Nothing, but the seed of doubt sprouted. Then came the call from my past. Matthew. Out of nowhere, my phone lit up with his number, forwarded through a mutual friend. "Alex? God, it's been forever. I'm back in town, visiting family. Can we talk?" His voice was the same velvet trap, laced with regret. I hung up, gut twisting, but told Dylan nothing. Secrets breed in the dark, and mine was festering. We made it to Columbus, his buddy stashing the files. Relief washed over us, and that night, in a borrowed apartment overlooking the Scioto River, we celebrated. Cheap wine, takeout Thai, bodies tangled in sheets that smelled of fresh laundry and possibility. "I could stay," Dylan murmured against my skin, tracing lazy circles on my back. "Build something here. With you." My heart swelled, but I whispered, "What about the road? Your stories?" He pulled back, I serious. "Stories are nothing without someone to come home to." We made love again, slower this time, every touch a vow. But dawn brought reality. His contact confirmed the developers were lawyered up, threatening lawsuits. "I gotta go public," he said. "Blow it wide." I drove him to the airport, the silence heavy. At security, he hugged me tight. "This isn't goodbye. I'll call every day." His kiss was fierce, promising. Then he was gone, boarding pass in hand, leaving me with an empty passenger seat and a heart too full to burst. Back home, the quiet hit like withdrawal. Work blurred, grease under nails, engines humming indifferently. Dylan's texts came steady, landed safe. "Miss you already. Articles drafting, your courage in it." But Matthew's shadow loomed. He showed up at the shop unannounced, all pressed khakis and designer stubble, looking every bit the prodigal son returned. "Alex, please." I was a kid, scared shitless. Dad threatened to cut me off. "Save it," I snapped, wiping my hands on a rag. "You chose them." But his eyes, pleading, cracked my armor. We grabbed coffee at the diner, him spilling apologies like loose change. "I've changed. Therapy, the works. And I'm out now." To everyone. It stung. Why now, when I'd finally glimpsed forward? That night, Dylan's call came late. "Hey, hero. Article drops tomorrow. Front page." pride swelled, but his voice was off, distant. Everything okay? I pressed. Pause. Yeah, just jet lag. Love you. First time he'd said it. I echoed it back, hanging up with butterflies. The story broke nationally. Dylan's expose on the developers, complete with my anonymous quote about small-town folks getting screwed. Reporters swarmed my shop, but I stonewalled. Pride in him burned bright. Until the photo leaked, not from his article, but a sidebar in a rival rag. Dylan, arm in arm with that same man from the phone pic, at a gala. Caption, photographer Dylan Reese with twin brother, Marcus, and wife Elena. Twin brother? My stomach dropped. But the next image gutted me. Dylan, laughing with Elena, her hand on his chest, intimate, possessive. No twin in sight. I called him voicemail. Texts, what the hell? Married? No reply. Matthew was there that afternoon, dropping by with lunch, peace offering. Saw my face, pulled me into a hug. Talk to me. I did, words tumbling. The stranger, the storm, the love, the lie. He listened, then said softly, "People fuck up, Alex. But you're worth the truth." His hand on mine lingered, familiar comfort. Dylan's flight landed that evening. I waited at arrivals, fury simmering. He spotted me, grin fading to confusion. "Alex, you're here." I shoved the printout at him. "Explain." His face drained. "It's not. Marcus is my twin, but Elena. She's his wife. That photo's from last year, before." "Bullshit," I roared, voices echoing in the terminal. Heads turned. "You hit it all. The calls, the angles. Were you playing me? Some straight guy experiment while hubby's away." Pain twisted his features. "No. I'm gay, Alex. Always have been. Marcus. He's the family secret. The one who outed me years ago, got us all disowned. I was protecting you from blowback. The developers have ties to him now, through business." Lies layered on lies. Protecting me? Or yourself? I backed away, chest heaving. "Go back to your perfect life." He reached, desperate. "Please, believe me. I love you." But I turned, walking into the humid night, tears blurring taillights. Days blurred into numbness. Shop radio blared Dylan's follow-up interview. "This story's personal, exposing corruption, but also my own shadows." Shadows. Fitting. Matthew checked in daily, his presence a balm and a curse. One evening, over beers on my porch, he confessed, "I never stopped loving you, Alex. Seeing you hurt like this. Let me help." His kiss was tentative, then deepening, an echo of old fires. I let it happen, guilt gnawing, because loneliness is a cruel bedfellow. Then the package arrived. No return address, Dylan's handwriting. Inside, a USB drive and letter. "Watch this. Then decide." The video, grainy footage from his camera, him confronting Marcus in a sleek office. "You fed them my location, didn't you? To protect your deals." Marcus, spitting image of Dylan but colder, sneered. "You're the family embarrassment. Little bro, stay out of my lane." Elena in the background, uncomfortable, whispering, "He's not lying, Mark." Cut to Dylan alone, sobbing. "I hit him because he'd destroy us both. But you deserve truth. Forgive me, or don't. I love you enough to let you go." Tears streamed as credits rolled. Dylan's montage of us. Porch swings, motel laughs, dockside whispers. My resolve cracked. I drove to the address in the letter. A safe house outside town, lakeside cabin he'd rented. Found him on the dock, our dock from the retention pond, staring at ripples. "You came," he breathed, standing. I stopped short. "The video. It's real." He nodded, pulling a folder. Emails, threats from Marcus tying developers to family funds. "I was going to tell you after the story dropped. Feared he'd come for you too." His voice broke. "I'm not married. Never have been. Marcus pushed Elena on me once, to fix me. That's the photo." Relief warred with rage. "You should have trusted me from the start." He stepped closer, eyes pleading. "I know. Scared I'd lose you like I lost everything else." Wind whispered through pines, and I saw it. The vulnerability I'd glimpsed that stormy night. "We both have ghosts," I said softly. Matthew's back, stirring shit. Dylan's jaw tightened, jealousy flashing, but he nodded. "Fight for me, then. Or walk." The choice hung, heavy as humid air. I closed the gap, hands framing his face. "I'm staying." Our kiss was salt and storm, deeper than before, forged in fire. But peace was fleeting. Marcus struck back 2 weeks later. Anonymous tip to the local paper. Local mechanic in bed with scandal photographer. Affair or extortion? Photos leaked. Us at the motel, cropped to imply sleaze. My shop's phone rang off the hook. Old clients canceling, whispers at the pump. Dad's old buddies cornered me. That true, boy? Shame on the family name. Worse, Matthew confronted me at the diner, face thunderous. You're with him? After everything I did to come back. Betrayal in his eyes. He'd leaked it. I realized, hurt turning to sabotage. You left me first. I shot back. This is my life now. The climax hit that Friday. Town hall meeting on the developer's project. Dylan was keynote, exposing the ties to Marcus's firm. I sat front row, hand in his under the table. Midway, Marcus burst in, flanked by suits, Elena trailing pale. Lies, he bellowed, pointing at Dylan. My brother's unstable. Queer delusions, family reject. Gasps rippled. Dylan's hand trembled in mine. Prove it, he challenged, voice steady. Marcus lunged, but security intervened. Chaos, shouts, flashes. Elena stepped forward, voice quavering. He's right, Mark. I saw the docs. End this. The room erupted. Council halting the vote. Feds called in. Outside, under flashing cop lights, Dylan pulled me aside. You okay? I nodded, but anger boiled. Your brother's poison. He sighed. Always was. But Elena, she's leaving him. For good. We drove to the lake that night, the real one, eerie shore, waves lapping like confessions. There, on the wooden dock as twilight bled to stars, we talked it out. Secrets spilled, fears named. I hid because love scared me, Dylan admitted. After Marcus outed me at 16, Dad kicked me out. Lived in my car till college. I shared Matthew's ghost, the abandonment, the tattoo I still wore. Thought I'd never trust again. His fingers traced it. We're broken, but together? Unbreakable. We embraced, foreheads touching, the world fading to just us. Warm glow on skin, promise in the quiet. No grand gestures, just raw, human truth. Months later, the feds indicted Marcus, developers folded. Dylan settled in Ohio, freelance from my garage, our garage now. Matthew faded back to the city, a letter of apology arriving like closure. We bought a fixer-upper by the lake, weekends sanding floors, building shelves. Fights came, his wanderlust clashing my roots, but we chose each other, daily. One evening, dockside again, he knelt. Not with a ring, too cliché, but a vintage camera, lens cap off. Capture this with me? Every frame. Tears pricked. Yes. Our kiss sealed it. Under that same starry sky, love not a fairy tale, but a hard-won American grit. Flawed, fierce, forever. Life with Dylan wasn't fireworks every day. It was more like tending a fire, logs that crackled warm one night, smoldering stubborn the next. We'd argue over dumb stuff, like him leaving film canisters on the coffee table or me hogging the thermostat in winter. But those fights? They honed us, stripping away the polish to reveal the grain beneath. Take Thanksgiving, our first together. I invited my Aunt Clara, the last blood tie standing, a no-nonsense widow running the library in town. Bring your friend, she said on the phone, voice neutral. Friend. Code for I know, but let's pretend. Dylan fretted over the turkey, basting it like a ritual. What if she hates me? He muttered, apron dusted with flour. I wrapped arms around him from behind, chin on his shoulder. Clara's tough, but fair. Just be you. Dinner was awkward at first, small talk about books and the Browns' losing streak. But when Dylan shared a photo essay on Rust Belt revival, her eyes lit. Reminds me of your dad, she said softly. He saw beauty in the broken too. By pie, she was grilling him on camera specs, and as we cleared plates, she pulled me aside. He's good for you, Alex. Hold on. That validation? Gold. But shadows lingered. Dylan's twin haunted us, not just legally. Marcus plea bargained down to probation, slinking back to Cleveland with Elena filing for divorce. He'd called Dylan sporadically, voicemails laced with venom. Ruined the family, fairy. Dylan deleted them unheard, but I'd catch him staring at the lake, jaw set. He wasn't always like that, he'd say. We were thick as thieves till puberty hit, and I realized boys, not girls. The outcry, Dad's rage, Mom's tears, split them. Marcus became the golden child, Dylan the exile. I pushed him to therapy, a queer-affirming counselor in Dayton. Sessions unearthed landmines, abandonment wounds mirroring my own losses. You're not your brother. I'd remind him, post-session drives home, hand on his thigh. You're the guy who stormed my door and stayed. He'd squeeze back, grateful. And you're the one who didn't bolt. Winter thawed into spring, our fixer-upper blooming. Wildflower beds Dylan planted, a porch swing I hung. Work steadied. My shop got a bump from the scandal buzz, eco-conscious clients seeking honest mechanics. Even flirted with unionizing, Dylan's doku-style encouragement. Romance wove in quiet. Lazy Sundays with pancakes and podcasts, his head in my lap as I read aloud from Steinbeck. One April evening, after a hike in the Hocking Hills, waterfalls misting our faces, he dropped to one knee mid-trail, not for proposal, but a vow. Marry me? Not legal yet here, but in our hearts. Laughter bubbled, tears too. Hell yes. Words spread subtle. Town wasn't Columbus Pride Parade, but Ohio's heartland grit meant live and let live for most. Still, ugliness simmered. At the Memorial Day cookout, Old Man Hargrove, shop regular, muttered over his burger, "Heard your boy's one of them activists. Stirring pots again." Dylan overheard, bristled, but I steered him away. Not worth it. Later, alone, he paced. Why swallow that shit? I pulled him close. Because we're building, not burning. But building cracked under pressure. June brought Matthew's return, full throttle. A letter first, saw your shop online. Proud of you. Coffee. Then texts, casual escalations. Remember that fair? Missed those nights. I blocked him, but ghosts don't die easy. Dylan found the printouts in my toolbox. Harmless nostalgia, I'd stashed. Still carrying him? Accusation hung heavy. It's history, I protested. You're mine now. Fights escalated. He accused me of one-footing the past. I fired back he was paranoid from twin trauma. One night, after a slammed door, he packed a bag. Need space. Heading to Cleveland for a shoot. Heart seized. Don't talk to me. But he left, taillights fading down the gravel drive. Solitude echoed. I drowned in work, engines a numb symphony. Clara called. Give him time, but don't let pride win. Sage words, but doubt gnawed. Was I enough? Matthew texted from a new number. Heard he's gone. You deserve better. Temptation whispered. Familiar arms, no complications. Dylan returned a week later, unannounced, duffel at his feet. Missed you. Eyes red-rimmed. We talked till dawn. His shoot-a-cover for visiting Marcus. Confrontation 2.0. Told him to stay gone. For us. Vulnerability raw. And you? He asked. I confessed the texts. Blocked again. You're it, Dylan. Forgiveness sealed with kisses, fiercer for the fracture. Summer peaked in heat waves, our love cooling the scorch. We road-tripped to the Michigan's wild Upper Peninsula, camping under northern lights. There, by a bonfire's glow, he shared buried pain. A college hookup gone wrong, guy outing him to frat bros, beat down in a dorm lot. Thought I'd never trust touch again. I held him, fireflies dancing. You trusted me. Dawn, in our tent, we mapped futures. His exhibit in Chicago, my shop expansion. Together, we vowed. Back home, controversy brewed anew. Dylan's next piece, a series on LGBTQ+ elders in rural America, featured a local, Tom Wilkins, closeted vet from my dad's VFW circle. Interview intimate, Tom's story gut-wrenching. Married 60 years, wife deceased, now whispering truths to Dylan over black coffee. The spread dropped in the Atlantic, national buzz. But backlash hit. VFW picket lines, Tom's mailbox egged, whispers at my pump. Your boy's ruining good men. I shielded Dylan, but fury built. They're afraid, he said, barricading our door one night after threats. Of seeing themselves. We hunkered, movie marathons and takeout forts, but tension simmered. Then the call. Tom, suicidal, admitted to the ER. Dylan rushed over, me driving. In the sterile hall, Tom gripped his hand. You gave me voice, son. Worth the storm. Dylan wept, later, in my arms. What if I break them? I cupped his face. You heal. That's the point. Autumn leaves turned, mirroring our deepening roots. We hosted a small commitment ceremony. Clara officiating lakeside. Vows exchanged under a willow. In storms and silences, I choose you. Rings simple, hammered steel, engraved with shutters and wrenches. Town came sparse but sincere. Deli owner, a few shop guys, even Hargrove nodding gruff approval. Yet betrayal loomed, unexpected. November, Dylan's exhibit opening in Columbus, black tie affair, his elders' portraits glowing under spots. I suited up, proud. Mingling, champagne fizz, until Elena appeared, elegant, alone. Dylan, she said, hugging him tight. Missed you. Jealousy flickered, old photo ghosts, but she pulled me aside. He's family. And you. Thank you for saving him from Marcus's shadow. Relief, then shock. Marcus, lurking by the bar, eyes on us. He approached, civil veneer cracking. Nice show, bro, too bad it's pity porn. Dylan stiffened. Leave. But Marcus leaned in, voice low. Tell your mechanic boyfriend about the insurance payout? After Dad died, your exile left me holding the bag. Lie or half-truth? Dylan paled. Not now. Drive home silent, accusations flying. What payout? I demanded. Dylan exhaled. Dad's policy, split between us. Marcus forged papers, claimed I was deceased after I left. Fought it years, lost. Betrayal anew, not Dylan's, but the system's. Why hide it? Shame. Felt like failure. We parked lakeside, storm brewing. No more hiding, I said. Promise. He nodded, tears falling. Promise. Winter gripped again, holidays hushed. Christmas Eve, snow blanketing the dock, we strung lights on the swing. Dylan gifted a custom lens, engraved our story. I gave a leather-bound journal for the untold frames. Curled by the fire, his head on my chest, he whispered, this is home. Peace, earned. But spring unearthed the deepest cut. Anonymous email to Dylan, attachments of us. Intimate doc moments, snapped hidden. Sender, Matthew R. Knew it, Dylan seethed. Your ex, stalking? I confronted Matthew via call, voice steal, delete it. Or I go public. His laugh bitter. Jealousy's a bitch. Thought we'd rekindle. Block, report. Cops involved minimally, but scar remained. Climax brewed in May. Marcus's court date for fraud remnants. Dylan testified, voice unwavering. He erased me to erase his shame. Gallery hushed, judge's gavel final. Probation extended, restitution ordered. Outside, Elena waited, papers in hand. Divorce finalized. Starting over, in Portland. Hugs all around, closure bittersweet. That night, dock vigil, stars sharp, lake whispering. Dylan broke. All this, family wars, leaks, lies, nearly broke us. I held him, but didn't. We're the survivors. Kiss under moonlight, tender, affirming, love's quiet roar. Summer solstice, we scattered Dad's ashes, delayed ritual, into the lake, Dylan's camera capturing ripples. To second chances, we toasted. Life rolled. His TEDx talk on rural queer resilience, my shop's solar retrofit. Fights fewer, laughs louder. One dawn, waking to his sketch, us intertwined, aged graceful, I knew, not perfect, but profoundly ours. American as apple pie with a twist. Two men, mending worlds, one frame at a time. The idol shattered come July, heat wave mirage giving way to inferno. Dylan's latest assignment pulled him cross-country, a month embedded with migrant farm workers in California's Central Valley, documenting labor abuses tied to corporate greed. Just 30 days, he promised, packing his kit on our bed, lenses glinting like accusations. I nodded, forcing smile. Go chase truth. I'll hold the fort. But inside, dread coiled, distance as old foe, Matthew's specter, Marcus's echoes. First week, texts bridged the miles, sunrise over vines, stunning, but missing your coffee grumbles. I replied with shop snaps, oily hands, a rebuilt Chevy gleaming. Hero mechanic vibes. Laughter emojis masked the ache. Nights, bed vast. I traced his side, replaying doc vows. Clara sensed it, dropping pie at the shop. Men and their quests. He'll be back. Week 2, silence stretched. A call finally, static-laced, his voice weary. It's heavy, Alex. Kids separated from families, wages stolen, mirrors my exile. Empathy surged, but jealousy nipped, the intensity he chased elsewhere. Proud of you, I said. Just come home whole. Pause. Always. Then the email, innocuous at first, from an old contact. Dylan's pics are gold. But heads up, Valley power players are circling. Stay safe. Unease prickled. I scoured news. Raids on camps. Whispers of retaliation. Texts went unread. Calls to voicemail. Panic built. Shop work frantic. Wrenches slipping. Mine miles away. Midnight. Third week. The knock. Urgent. Familiar rhythm. Heart leaped. Dylan? No. Clara. Face ashen. Hospital in Fresno. Car accident. Dylan's. World tilted. I drove through dawn. 5 hours blurring to nightmare. ER waiting. Sterile hell. Coffee bitter. Doctor emerged. Concussion. Broken ribs. Hit by a truck. Suspected intentional. Rage. Relief crashed. Inside. He lay bandaged. Eyes fluttering open. Alex. Weak smile. Told you I'd come home. Story spilled halting. Post-shoot. Tailing a lead on a corrupt foreman. Ambush on a dusty road. Truck swerving. Him veering into ditch. They wanted the camera, he rasped. Files on exploitation could topple conglomerates. Cops skeptical. Accident. But his bruises screamed foul. I stayed, nursing him through morphine haze, fury simmering. No more risks, I whispered. He squeezed my hand. For us? Okay. Recovery dragged. Flights home bumpy. My truck fetching him curbside. Cabin became sanctuary. Broths, bad TV, his head in my lap as I read field reports aloud. But resentment festered. You could have died. I confessed one night, fire crackling. Chasing shadows while I'm here, waiting. Tears hot. He winced, ribs protesting. I know. Selfish. But truth. It's my armor. We argued soft. Wounds too fresh. Ending in fragile truce. Boundaries drawn. Check-ins mandatory. August healed bones, not hearts. Dylan mended slow. Exhibit postponed. Restlessness caged. I hovered. Shop hours cut. Guilt my companion. Matthew's card arrived. Heard about the accident. Here if you need. Shredded it. But doubt whispered. Reliability over romance. Dylan caught the mood. Confronted gentle. Still him. I shook head. Us. Always. Reentry rocky. Town buzzed. Gossip mill grinding Dylan's Hollywood crash. Hargrove at the pump. Your boy's trouble magnet. Dylan overheard. Retreated to darkroom. Our garage corner. Red light pulsing. I found him developing valley prints. Faces etched hardship. Eyes defiant. This is why, he said. Can't quit. Empathy won. Then we fight together. Collaboration sparked. My logistics brain plotting safe shoots. His vision capturing. We co-pitched a series. Rural America Unseen, Queer Lenses. Editor's bit, funding flowed. Excitement rebuilt us. Late nights brainstorming, his sketches on my napkins, my maps pinned to fridge. September equinox, lake outing, rowboat rented, sunset painting water gold. There, amid lazy oars, he unveiled the secret gnawing him. The accident wasn't random. Foreman had Marcus's firm ties, consulting on AG land. Betrayal redux. Your brother? Dylan nodded grim. Cut him off post-court, but grudges die hard. Fury ignited. We end this. Call to Elena, now Portland-based, ally, confirmed. Marcus funneling dirty money. Valley, a laundering front. Decision loomed. Expose or protect. Dylan paced doc. Go public, he comes harder. I countered. Hide, he wins. Sleepless counsel, Clara weighing in. Courage isn't reckless. It's chosen. Dawn verdict. Join article. Evidence airtight. Feds looped. Climax crested October. Press conference in Cleveland. Dylan at podium. Me beside. Hand under table. Anchor. Flashes popped as he laid it bare. Family blood. Corporate greed. My twins web from Rust Belt to vineyards. Marcus absent, but statement issued. Denial. Countersuit threats. Reporters swarmed. Elena testified remote. Voice steel. Within hours, DOJ probes launched, Marcus's empire teetering. Backlash immediate. Our mailbox vandalized, shop windows soaked traitors. Threats escalated, voicemails growling, queers meddling. Dylan cracked first. What ve we unleashed? I held him lakeside, stars witnesses. Justice. And each other. But fear chilled. Guns in nightstand, Clara's guest room prepped. Betrayal's twist, Matthew of All Souls. Leaked tip to press. Sources say Reese brothers feud personal. Custody battle over estranged lover? Fabricated, vicious, painting Dylan unstable, me pawn. Confrontation via video. His face haggard, city skyline behind. Couldn't let you have it all, he sneered. You chose him over us. Pain lanced. Old love curdled to spite. We're done. Legally. Lawyer engaged, cease and desist fired. Dylan, post-leak, withdrew, darkroom exile, prince abandoned. Am I poison? He whispered, curled fetal. Psychological depths plumbed. Twin rejection, now ex's sabotage, eroding self. Therapy doubled. I sat in couple sessions, unpacking my enabler role, shielding to avoid loss. We're mirrors, counselor said. Reflect, don't shatter. November thawed frost. Marcus arrested. RICO charges, Valley ties unraveling. Victory Pyrrhic, Dylan testified again, voice hollow. Courtroom stare down. Twins' eyes locking, Marcus mouthing freak. Verdict, indicted, bail denied. Dylan vomited post-hearing, me rubbing back in bathroom stall. It's over, I soothed. Free. Healing halting. Holidays hushed. Clara's table. Tom's widow joining. Toasts to resilience. Christmas. Dylan gifted a locket. Our doc photo inside. Anchor, he said. Mine. Custom shutter release. Engraved together. Firelit promises. Therapy sustained. Boundaries sacred. Winter waned. Spring stirring. Exhibit rescheduled. Chicago. Joint cred. Prep frenzy bonded us. Framing sessions. My hammer. His eye. Opening night. Gallery humming. Elders beaming. Press kind. A collector approached. Your story moves mountains. Dylan's hand found mine. Public. Proud. Yet misunderstandings ghost. Anonymous letter post show. Matthew's script. Forgive? Therapy helped. Won't haunt. Ignored, but Dylan urged reply. Closure, not chains. Brief email, move on. We have. Sent, deleted, weight lifted. Summer solstice redux. Lake bonfire, vows renewed. Through betrayals, we bend, not break. Kiss under full moon, love's depth profound. American odyssey of grit and grace. Autumn's palette deepened our roots. Leaves carpeting the drive like confetti from battles won. Dylan's Chicago success snowballed. Offers from NPR, Guggenheim whispers, but we grounded it. Weekly lake walks, no phones dinners. Fame's fleeting, he'd say, sketching me mid-bite. This is eternal. I believed him, mostly. My shop thrived too, eco-upgrades drawing city commuters fleeing sprawl. But human frailties persist. December, Clara's health dipped. Flew to pneumonia. Hospital pale. We rallied. Dylan bedside with stories, me handling her library shifts. Her whisper to us, monitors beeping. You boys. My greatest plot twist. She rallied. Home by New Year's, but fragility loomed. Mortality's nudge. Live fierce, she charged. We did. Vow to travel light. Legacy over loot. January frost bit, but warmth brewed inside. Dylan uncovered family trove. Mom's letters, hidden in attic trunk post-move. Yellowed pages chronicled his exile. My boy, so brave in shadows. Tears baptized them. We framed one for mantle. She saw you, I said. He nodded, healing's quiet tide. Spring equinox, decision dawned. Adopt? Not kids, too raw, but foster a stray heart. Local shelter, queer youth program. We signed up. First placement. Jamie, 17, runaway from Bible Belt kin, eyes wary as fresh snow. Temporary, social worker stressed. But his guarded grins over pancakes? Permanent etch. Challenges crashed. Jamie's nightmares. Trust a minefield. Dylan bonded via darkroom lessons. Capture your power. While I taught truck basics. Grease is therapy. Fights flared. My frustration boiling. He's testing us. Dylan's patience fraying. Like we weren't. One blowout. Jamie overheard. Packed bag. Dylan chased. Dockside talk. We fight because we care. Stay. He did. Walls tumbling. Summer scorched. Revelations bloomed. Jamie's story mirrored Dylan's. Outed. Abandoned. Couch surfing hell. Group therapy forged trio. Shared scars. Laughter's bomb. Town embraced subtle. Diner tabs comped. Hargrove gifting tools. Kids got spark. Pride swelled. Our home, once echo, hummed life. Yet conflict crested unforeseen. August, Marcus's trial. Federal spectacle. Cleveland courthouse gleaming under sun. Dylan subpoenaed again, me support shadow. Testimony grueling. Ledgers dissected, his voice steady on stand. Greed's the villain, not blood. Cross-exam venom. Defense painting him vengeful queer, motives twisted. Jury out days. We paced hotel, Elena visiting. Now Portland professor, reinvented. Proud of you both, she said, hugging Dylan. Family redefined. Verdict, guilty, 15 years. Marcus's glare from dock, defeated, human. Dylan exhaled post-gavel. Not joy. Relief. Drive home. Lakebound. We scattered symbolic stones. Granite skips for grudges released. Free. Echoed ripples. Autumn harvest. Jamie's milestone. GED aced. College apps flying. Celebration lakeside. Clara toasting. Tom's widow sharing war stories. Dylan's gift. Camera kit. Engraved frame your future. Jamie's hug fierce. You saved me. Our eyes met. Miracle mutual. Winter whispered change. Clara's decline accelerated. Cancer, quiet fighter. Hospice chosen. Our cabin annex for her final weeks. Dylan read her favorites. Steinbeck, sure. Voice soft as snowfall. I held her hand. Memories flowing. Dad's mill tales, my boyhood scrapes. Loved well, she murmured last breath, us flanking. Funeral small, lakeside burial. Ashes to water, her laugh and wind. Grief hollowed, but Jamie anchored. Cooking disasters, movie marathons. She'd want joy, he said. We leaned in, therapy trio now duo +1. Spring renewal, Jamie off to OSU. Dorm-bound, but weekends home. Empty nest echoed, but Dylan and I rediscovered duo dance. Date nights, spontaneous drives. One made dusk, dock eternal. He knelt proper. Ring box, sapphire simple. Marry me? Legal now, hearts always. Tears, yes. Ohio's winds shifting, equality etched. Wedding planning chaos. Small, secular, lakeshore, Willow's witness. Guests eclectic. Clara's library crew, shop loyalists, valley elders via video. Vows raw. Dylan, you stormed my storm, stayed through wreckage. Me, chose you daily, ghost be damned. Rings exchanged, kiss sealed under cheers, love's triumph, humanistic him. Honeymoon road trip, Route 66 echoes, motels quirky, sunsets shared. In a Taos adobe, under desert stars, we mapped legacy. Dylan's nonprofit, rural queer docs, my shop apprenticeship for at-risk youth. Building bridges, he said, fingers laced. Back, life layered. Jamie's visits, grad school dreams. Elena's holiday drops, chosen kin. Marcus's appeals failed, silence his sentence. Matthew? A card yearly, amends and signed, ignored. Years blurred benevolent. Dylan 40, gray flecking temples, silver fox, I teased. Exhibit retrospectives, TED circles. Me, shop foreman now, union dad to Jamie's circle. Grandkids? Not blood, but chosen. Jamie's partner, their pup chaos. Climax's echo faded, but one final twist. Anonymous donor to Dylan's fund. Matthew, reformed, out and advocating. Letter enclosed, redemption's long road. Yours inspired. Dylan read aloud, dockside. Forgive. I shrugged. Not ours to grant. But, peace. Twilight years, lake unchanged, ripples eternal. Rocking chairs creak, hands wrinkled intertwined. Regrets, he asks, sunset gilding. None. You. Smile crinkles. Chose right that rainy night. Our story? Not fairy dust, but American clay, forged in conflict's kiln, romantic in resilience, humanistic in hold. Strangers to soulmates, unreal to utterly real. Under stars, embrace lingers. Love's most romantic frame. Two men, weathered whole, whispering forever.